YouTube? We back in the Low Key Cave. Keyshawn Knobs YouTube page, aka Mr. Low Key, and we back with another movie review. Dangerous Animals. Somewhat short movie, but mostly thriller, horror, if you want to say. Um, I was really looking forward to this because of the premise, because I felt like this was trying to give us something different as far as the shark genre. You can kind of compare this a little bit, not really compare it, but as far as just the angle of the villain in here, as far as John Courtney's character Tucker, you can kind of say it has some similarities to Shark Night, because Shark Night was kind of doing the same thing with their quote unquote villains, but that movie more so focused on the sharks, which I feel like that's what this movie right here, Dangerous Animal, did a good job of not doing. It's solely focused on this actual serial killer and his victim, as far as Zypher, the young lady that he has captured, who's trying her best to get out of this situation. But plot wise, we got this guy Zucker, if I'm not mistaken. Zucker is his name, played by John Courtney. He was bit or attacked by a shark when he was younger, and now it's kind of become an obsession with him, as far as not only the attack but just sharks overall. And he has more of a connection with sharks than human beings. And this more so puts us in the crosshairs of who this guy is. And John Courtney kills this role, bro. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with too many John Courtney movies outside of Suicide Squad. I forgot what the other one was that he did that I really like. If it come to mind, I'll definitely mention it again. But I done seen him in a couple of things that I'm cool with. I know he did Terminator Genesis. But anyway, he is all in with this. I can tell that he's having a good time with this. But not only that, it's the way he indulged in this. He's not an over-the-top villain like you get with some of these other characters that they try to push the heaviness on you, as far as like his obsession with sharks. They don't go too much with that. We get a little backstory with him, but not too much. Just enough to let you know what type of time he's on. And even when he's doing this scene where he's dancing and shit, it elevates his menacing ways. But not only that, it's just putting in the vein of just how serious he is with this whole obsession with the sharks and the victims that he's pretty much collecting and feeding to the sharks, and the way he even does going about it. As far as overall characters that you want to root for, as far as our main, I would say not survivalist, but our main girl, named Zypher, if I'm not mistaken, Zypher. But she is somebody that you do want to root for, even where her whole story that she has going on being a loner, it's kind of like parallels, because he's a loner too, as far as him and the sharks or whatever. And this is the whole thing that she has going on, because she come across this guy, and yeah, they hook up on the first night, but she pretty much gets out there, ditches him or whatever. But he's definitely trying to stay intact with her. And speaking of this guy, we have moments in here, man, and where it's the characters and the whole thing with trying to escape or trying to get away. I do like the girl because it's the whole resilience. Well, it's like, nah, if that didn't work, cool, I'm gonna try this. If that don't work, cool, I'm gonna try this. Because you have these certain movies or thrillers where you had the characters or the ones that's kidnapped, whatever's going on, where they just seem like it's just like, I'm not gonna keep trying. If they get into this mode where it's like, no. If you in this type of situation, and she is in the worst of the worst situations, she is kidnapped on a boat in the middle of the fucking ocean. Like, what do you do? Even if you escape, what you gonna do? Jump in the ocean? Your best bet is trying to actually kill this individual. But yes, man, seeming like she's put in some of the most impossible situations is the way she's able to maneuver. I love the way they deal with the sharks. The sharks are not like serial killers. I like a movie called The Shallows, but I feel like it's the way they portray that shark like he had a vendetta at one point. Like, it's like, no, I'm not going to let you get away. It's like, I need to stay with you. Y'all could have, it was the whole thing with that was like his feeding area as far as The Shallows, when the well, if you know what I'm talking about, as far as that movie. I think Blake Lively plays in that. I do like that as far as a shark film. But I feel like it's too many shark movies where it's like the shark has this thing where it's like, it's not an animal anymore. It's like it has emotions and feelings or some shit. This movie lets you know these are forces of nature. Like, these are animals. And even in moments where she's telling certain characters are trying not to get their ass ate, in the impossible situation, like being put in an ocean full of sharks, but they have to do certain things because if you know, I watch Shark Week and they tell you, if I'm not mistaken, sharks will not attack you. If they know you're human, they kind of like back off or whatever, depending on what's going on. You got to remember this guy's dumping people in the ocean when he's dumping like chow and shit in there, like he's dumping like bait and stuff in there, water sharks in there. You know, as far as shark movie, you got that one shark that you're gonna have to see, the great white. Come on now, the great white of shark movies is like the T-Rex of dinosaur movies, Jurassic Park movies, because that's pretty much the only dinosaur movie we got. But you know they got to say that for that one moment or that lasting moment, as far as the one, whatever you doing as far as the shark movie, you got to get that one shark in there as far as the great white. And I like the way they actually set the great white up in this. As far as when it's finally not revealed, but when you finally get to see that shark, because we see plenty of other sharks. If y'all might get mad at me, but one of my main issues probably with this movie is that it wasn't enough victims. I needed more victims. I'm sorry, but as far as the shark, but when we actually get to see him doing what he doing to the victims, because he used sharks like Jason used fucking machetes, or like Freddy Krueger used gloves. I mean, Michael Myers and a knife. This is the way he used sharks. So the way they even show the shark attacks and the way it's like you actually are watching somebody actually getting fed alive to a shark. The way they film it and the way it's set up. Very, very good scene. I feel like I've seen that in a long time as far as that set up. I mean, we think about it, nigga. We watch Deep Blue Sea CGI sharks coming in and chopping niggas down like fucking chow meat. But I love the way this is set up. I don't feel like it was any CGI here. I feel like this was all practical. I feel like the sharks were real. Y'all can let me know if I'm wrong, but I did not notice any type of CGI in here. Maybe a tinkle, maybe. But overall, this, you might even go in here and say this is not even a shark movie, because like I said, it's very rarely the sharks are in here, but when they are in here, they doing what they're supposed to be doing. Even the opening scene in here, I loved it, because that's a fucking fear. Think about if you've never done cage diving, nothing like that, and the way they show the sharks in slow motion, the way they showing this woman's fears, it's like a real moment. And it's how I feel like a lot of us would be if we had never been in that type of situation or been down in the water with fucking sharks. And this is the Australian waters. It's not even goddamn in the United. This is Australian waters. But overall, I think Jai Courtney plays a very good villain as far as Zucker. I'm sorry if I'm getting his name wrong. I like our main leading girl as far as her fight and her resilience. We have other characters in here, and I do like the other characters that we kind of get to come in. Even a certain character that I guess you could say is kind of maybe a main character, but not, because the movie is more so Zucker versus Cypher as far as Jai Courtney character versus this lady that he is kidnapped. But overall, like I said, it's a very, very good addition to the shark genre as far as doing something a little different. And I can respect it. And like I said, overall, it is a serial killer movie. I've heard people say basically Jaws meets Silence of the Lambs. I can see that. I can kind of see that. But overall, I did enjoy this. Y'all let me know if y'all are shark fans. Did y'all enjoy Dangerous Animals? If you had a chance to see it. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell, let you know when I upload new videos. Other than that, we out.